Hey everybody, welcome. Men are done with modern women. Here are some of their reasons why.
Why men have given up on women. Let's face it, the red pill community was not built overnight. As both a woman and a psychotherapist, my journey has been humbling to say the least. The number one reason that men have given up on women and on love is solely because the gap between men and women is getting larger and larger. With women, there's the movement of I don't need no man. And then with men, you have that movement of women are a liability. So in my practice, I try to teach clients how to close that gap. The truth is that relationships and genuine love is beautiful. And it's a really powerful achievement. Man or woman, let's face it, we need one another.
I was out with the most beautiful girl the other night, like gorgeous. And she's not intimidating. And she's smiley and blah, blah, blah. And literally, no guys approached us. Like, none.
Like, when I have a kid, when I'm older, a daughter, I want her to be approached. Like, one day, when she's old enough, I also want my future son to approach. So, I just hate the shift, the world, the narrative.
I do feel sort of sorry for some women, maybe women like her, who didn't necessarily want to have this particular shift that is happening in society, which is the equalizing of society. So you have society equalized through law, equalized through any sort of legality. Then you have society equalizing career-wise and through education. And now the equalization process is coming to the dating market. And some women are like, wait a minute, we didn't want this. But unfortunately for these ladies who didn't want it, it's kind of a package deal with equality. It's kind of a package deal to sort of eliminate any sort of gender privileges and men coming up to you, men paying for that. That is a gender privilege that was built into the quote unquote patriarchy. But if we're equalizing society, that means all the bad stuff that you want gone is gone because of your gender. But that also means all the good, or any good that was going on specifically because of your gender, any perks, that also is going to be leaving. And that's kind of leaving a lot of women out sort of in the ocean, just floating with no land in sight, because a lot of women simply are terrified of approaching men, or just simply want because of pride. So what happens? Is this sort of a stalemate, or do women just end up getting what they can take? And that's what we see in situationships where men aren't really going out, and then when they do, they just kind of DM you, text you, hey, what's up here, what's up there, come over and watch some Netflix and chill. So they've sort of reduced it down. So this I see as maybe a direct or indirect consequence of equalizing of society, the women's movement, and this sexual revolution. And unfortunately,
a lot of these women are never satisfied, and you wonder why men don't want to get married. You wonder why men are hesitant on long-term relationships. You wonder why men are taking a step back on putting themselves in certain predicaments. It's because of women like this. These are the same women who just wake up one day and want to graduate from their marriage. They come to the conversation, oh, I want a man that's a provider. I want a man who pays all the bills. I want to make sure I can be a stay-at-home wife and a stay-at-home mother. This man has provided you all those things, and you still have a problem. And this is why I always say to these women who exude this ungrateful behavior that, girl, you better be careful, because if he have any kind of female co-workers at one of them jobs, they will be glad to trade positions with you.
How long do you think you should wait before having with somebody?
I like to wait. If I actually see a potential of a relationship and I want to be in a relationship, I wait a while, I would say, more than the average person.
Coincidingly, though, if you don't see a potential for a relationship, you're willing to have sex immediately.
If I'm like traveling, yeah, I want to have experiences, yes.
Yeah, and you just were traveling, correct? You were in Europe. Like, okay, while you were in Europe, like, was there just like some dude, maybe you were at a party or something, I don't know, and an hour later, like, you guys are hooking up?
Yeah.
But if you mark the person as somebody you want to have something long-term with, do you have a sense of how long you'd like to wait?
I've done a couple months before.
The next guy that you could potentially see as having a relationship with, are you going to want to wait to have sex with him?
Yes.
It almost occurs to me, though, if this is somebody that you see with long-term potential, wouldn't that be the guy who's more deserving of sleeping with sooner?
No.
If you don't have any sort of objections to sleeping with somebody fast, because you don't, why would you make a potential boyfriend wait to have sex?
For me, is meaningful.
If that is the case, why engage in casual sexual encounters?
Ass backwards. And I guarantee you it's to men she sexually desires. This is what I tell you guys on this platform. You have to understand, a woman is willing to hook up with a man, but that's only reserved for the guy that she actually wants. She's not gonna hook up with an ugly motherfucker. However, she may allow you to take her on a date, even if she doesn't find you desirable. Not only this, but if she finds you somewhere in the middle, you, my friend, are relationship material. Because you're not that attractive, so she knows you're gonna try harder. So you have to wait to play, while the guy that she's actually into doesn't have to wait at all. This is one of the reasons men have stopped dating. It feels bad when you're interested in a woman, she makes you wait to pretend that she's some good girl, but at the end of the day, she's just a 304, and she has given up the most valuable part that men find attractive. Okay? We're not looking at your personality and saying, damn, I would hit that. You see the point? When it comes to your sexuality, as a man, that is why we pursue you. If you value a man long term, he's the guy that you should want to sleep with, not the other way around. And guys, you have to realize, women will contradict themselves when it comes to feelings versus logic. Logically, she knows what she should be doing, but the way she feels about it is contrary. Which is why towards the end of the video, Adam told her, wouldn't it make more sense for you to want to give your body to the guy that you are pursuing a relationship with? And she said, no, not really. Sex is meaningful. Then why the hell are you giving it out freely to people you won't even see again? It's so...
Girlies in their late 20s, early 30s. Where are we finding men?
Unfortunately, they are working overtime instead of going out and dating because they feel they will never be attractive enough or wealthy enough for a girl ever again. They would rather check their weather app than chat with another person on Hinge. If they're not at work, they're usually at home, the gym, playing video games with friends, or fighting for democracy. You're welcome.
If you're making $50,000, don't date. I'm just being for real. You're not ready to date.
Again, I'm with you.
You're not ready to. You're not ready to date because courtship costs.
Okay.
Everything costs. You can go for 22 walks in the park. Eventually, shorty is gonna need a sip of something. She's gonna be thirsty. This bottle of water is $3 in Atlanta. Let's not play. So if you don't have any expendable cash, don't date. And whatever that looks like for you, you might only make 50,000, but you live in a shoe, and now you got expendable cash. Or get you a bottom of the barrel bitch that's gonna date you when you have no money. If she doesn't have that expectation, and I'm gonna tell you this right now, enjoy it while it lasts, because eventually you're gonna wanna run. Because she doesn't stretch you, she doesn't make you the man that you need to become. She allows you to be the stagnant dude in the same jeans for days. You know what I'm saying?
We cutting up.
I'm
You
just
talk about
saying.
me.
But yeah, so at the end, Tico was kind of going off a little bit. But again, the first video we saw, it's like, oh, where are all the guys at? You know, where are the guys dating?
I think these two women need to have a conversation.
Exactly.
Let's be honest, a lot of men feel useless in dating today. Men are tired of feeling disposable, and a lot of men are actually feeling replaceable, and they're feeling used. Nothing they ever do for a woman or in dating or in relationships seems enough, seems to be appreciated. His money, his time, his effort, nothing is enough to please women in general in this day and age. And I see this in friends as well. I was speaking to a friend the other day. He was gonna travel abroad to meet a friend for his wedding in South America. Him and his girlfriend just moved into a new apartment. And the guy painted the whole place so that at least his girlfriend had a decent place to live in. He did that. He put so much time and energy and effort into that. And when he came back, she was upset because he left her in an unfinished apartment and she had to clean everything and it was dusty and it was not done yet. I told him, she does not value your effort. She does not see your effort. And I hear this time and time again from my male friends, but also from men in the comment section. And men are tired of it. Women do not appreciate masculine effort, or it's never enough, or it's not good enough, or they correct a man's masculine effort. And please, ladies, understand that it is a give and take. It's not just a take. So you also have to give to your man. And you need to understand that a man's way of showing love for many men is by doing things for you, by creating a space that is safe and calming for you. Ladies, if a man, a busy man, a masculine man, any man, in fact, gives you his time, that means that this person is wanting to exchange time that he could have used someplace else or spend with friends on you. He wants to spend it with you. The same with money. We need to understand the concept of time and money, especially in the mind of a man. A man puts a lot of work in career and making money. So oftentimes, if you want a successful man or any man, the money that they earn is the time that they spend at a job, which oftentimes they don't like doing. But still, they decide to spend their time and their money on you, which is exchange for their life energy. Yes, you also exchange time to be with a man, and you spend time with making sure that you look nice. That takes effort. But please do understand that a lot of men are getting frustrated because women are just asking so much and it's never enough. It's like you're throwing everything, your money, your time, your life, in a pit that never gives anything back, a bottomless pit. Because honestly, what do you as a woman give in return? Do you give love? Do you give respect? Do you give gratitude for the fact that he took you out? Many women don't. Many women expect a man to take her out for dinner, but they don't even thank him, or they don't offer a little gesture of kindness. But if you heard that he likes chocolate milk with whipped cream, next time that you meet, get the chocolate milk with whipped cream, because you listen. This is the nurturing aspect of a woman that men love. You listen, you're attentive, and you give that love and care to a man. And that shows genuine connection and that you care about him. So ladies, please be mindful of the fact that you're not just taking from men, because this is really toxic and this has to stop, because a lot of women just expect princess treatment and they are literally a bottomless pit for many men, and they just go out with as many men as they can just to have dinner sorted out. I've heard of women that go out with men in the morning for breakfast, for lunch, and for dinner, so they don't have to pay for anything. I think it is disgusting that women do this kind of stuff. If this is you, you have to stop using men like this. It is just indecent. This is a human being, and you're just using this man's life and resources and energy for your own benefit, and you're not giving anything back. And that you should be ashamed of yourself, honestly. And I'm not saying that if you do not like a man or you don't want to go on a second date, that is perfectly fine. But decline with respect. Do it in a decent manner. Say thank you so much for the date. I really enjoyed that. The conversation was lovely, but I just don't really feel a connection. But, you know, we can meet up for coffee because I think we have a lot in common. But for dating, it's not something that I'm looking for right now. Just be kind. Be receptive. Be thankful and grateful of what this man gave you and offered to you. If you do it in a respectful manner, yeah, of course it will hurt a bit. But really, being honest and maybe giving them a little blow of rejection like that in a respectful manner is way less worse than using a person. So to get back to my point, sadly, a lot of women do think that men are useless in relationship, or that you can just use them for your own pleasure and then just discard of them. Now, I think this is repulsive, but I've said enough about that. If this is something that you do as a lady, you're not a lady, I'm sorry. As a woman, don't do that ever again. You do not have the right to use another person, ever. If a man would use a woman like that, this man would be hunted down and destroyed on the internet. Another thing that we see on dating apps, men became accessories. Why do we need them anyway? Well, I have everything, so I can pick and choose. I can select the best man how I want my man to be. Because I don't need a man, you are extra. That is how they think. And I think this is a horrible mindset. And ladies, you have to step out of this mindset because this is not healthy.
Apparently, there are a lot of men out there that are done with being used and all the other BS that comes with modern dating. And they're probably just sitting at home alone, ignoring people. And as women, I think it's time for us to start taking accountability. Women are just way too busy looking for their next meal ticket or who's gonna buy them their next Louis bag, okay? And I am so sick of it because women have become so toxic towards men, and it's not fair. Men deserve to be loved and cherished, and all these toxic women are just ruining it for the good ones like myself. And I'm just so sick of it, and I don't know how it's gonna stop. Like, we need men. We literally need men. So women, just stop ruining it for everyone.
Men aren't the problem. Women's lack of accountability is, and that's why men are checking out of dating and nobody wants to say it. Women love to complain about men, how men don't want to commit, don't want to date, don't want to put in effort, don't want to do this and that, but rarely do women stop to ask what role they play in the problem. And trust me, girl, I used to be the same way until I realized what was really going on. The truth is, men are tired of being told they're never enough. They're tired of being called toxic for being masculine, tired of being shamed for wanting to lead, and tired of being treated like they're disposable. Why would a man want to date when he's constantly told he's the problem? When every mistake is weaponized against him and every effort is met with criticism or indifference. Add in the fact that so many women are competing with men instead of complimenting them, and it's no wonder men are choosing peace over partnership. Men want to feel respected, needed, and appreciated. When they don't get that, they check out, and honestly, I can't blame them. If you want a man who actually wants to show up for you, maybe start by showing him some respect. Otherwise, don't be surprised when he chooses himself over a relationship.
Where are all the good men? Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, ladies, but they're done. They've walked away from today's modern women. They're done with dating, done with marriage, done with relationships. And no, ladies, it's not because they're scared, like you all are telling each other is the case. No, the real reason they're leaving is because they don't see a point in relationships anymore. Because there is no point in relationships for today's men. They're expected to give while getting nothing in return. They're told that they need to honor, respect, and provide for women while never seeing it reciprocated to them in any way. They've been told time and again that they aren't needed, aren't wanted, aren't necessary, and that they should just go away and leave women alone. And ladies, we've heard you loud and clear. We've said, fine, if that's what you want, we're going to give it to you. And that, ladies, is where these good men are, off doing their own thing and enjoying life, because they are done dealing with the drama, narcissism, and insane expectations most of you have. Men are done with never being acknowledged, let alone appreciated for all that they do. So if you're wondering why all the men have walked away, there's your reasons.
They're not done. They're not doing it anymore. See, we have so many labels on men these days, but imagine for 1 minute if a man ever said that kind of shit about a woman. Imagine if a man was saying she's toxic, she's a cheater, she abused me, she did this, she was always lazy, she never looked after the kids, she doesn't deserve to be a mother, she's a deadbeat mother, she's a deadbeat wife, you don't need her, she's pathetic, she's useless, she's ugly, she's fat, she wasn't good in bed. Imagine if a man ever said that about a female. Just take 1 minute. Could you imagine the amount of crap he would get? But funny enough, here in society now, we are applauding women for speaking about men that way. It's kind of ironic, but let me tell you something. The 20th century man, he's fucking done. He's not falling for the BS no more. The way of getting pregnant easy and tricking him into it, the divorces, all of it, he's done.